Welcome to the People Leaders Podcast, the audio resource for managers and business leaders creating high-performing teams. Join leadership and team development experts Jan and Michelle Turkelson each week as they explore both subjects from every angle. Through practical tips, valuable insights, and compelling interviews with leadership experts around the world, you'll learn how to bring out the best in your staff and how to give your best as a leader.
Hi Michelle. Hi Jan. So today we wanted to share a couple of insights that we've noticed in our work in the last couple of weeks of producing physical evidence that demonstrates what you are doing in your work environment, and also if the benefits of producing physical evidence is that if you want to influence an outcome or influence someone, give them something tangible to look at. It shows that you have thought out the process and the exchange is important, and also allows you to demonstrate a level of competency and professionalism. And it also gives them a symbol that you have, there is something from you that they can then take away, they can ponder, they can look at it again. It's just not a fleeting, conversation that just gets lost in the ether. There is something that can move forward that they can then add to, perhaps. That's right. So how we've seen this demonstrated in the last couple of weeks so profoundly is in having the difficult conversation. And we have found that the managers who have really planned and put some thought into the difficult conversation, so really specific examples of the behaviour that they're noticing, the impact and who it is impacting, whether or not it's a stakeholder or a team. So this manager had said that I'd had the difficult conversation before, and I usually think about it in a couple of minutes beforehand, and the person that I'm having the conversation with will say, when was that and who was that? And I go, it was a couple of weeks ago, and it just loses the impact. Whereas this time they were very clear and specific, and they said, well, on the 26th of March on Wednesday, this is what happened, and it actually created a level of gravitas to the situation, and it turned the whole conversation around. And this person was able to reflect on those specific examples, and now there is a process of monitoring and moving forward. The other example where this physical evidence was important was another people leader was having a conversation with their one-up manager, and their one-up manager was giving them feedback around every time we have a one-on-one, you come up with some great ideas. However, what I do see lacking is the tangible. You say you're going to do something, but I actually don't see the report or the outcome. And that person said to me, but there were a lot of reasons why I couldn't do that because of ad hoc requests, etc. And then we just talked through, but was there an opportunity to maybe outline the report, to produce something physical that you could then hand over to someone else, so you could just demonstrate that what you spoke about with your manager was important enough to create something about it. And the other example that we had in the last couple of weeks was someone who was in a support function, and someone came to them wanting them to produce some material. However, the person that came to them didn't have a clear idea of the outcome that they wanted. So what we decided is that the support person would give them an example of how other people have given them a bit of an outline, a structure, so they could then walk through the process. So it's important to have something tangible if you want to influence a behaviour or an outcome. Yeah, we're very visual people, Jan. Really important. So the second thing that we wanted to talk about was the importance of being organised. And you think, what, organised? Of course, everybody should be organised. However, it's more about being prepared than organised, I think. And it is about being prepared for the difficult conversation, being prepared for the meeting, being prepared for the day, being prepared for a conversation that you're going to have with your one-up manager. And if we can just link it back to that difficult conversation you were referring to before, Jan, is that when this person that will coaching was prepared for the rejection or they were prepared for the response, which was different responses, and one was feedback from your colleagues I've received feedback from your colleagues, and he knew that person was going to respond, well, who exactly was it? So they preempted it by going to the colleagues and saying, look, I am going to follow up on this issue that I know that, you've come to me. Are you okay with me sharing with your colleague that it was you
and the impact
and the impact that it had? And the person said, absolutely.
Two people.
And obviously if they said no, then you couldn't use that. But because he was prepared, went into the conversation, and it's almost like it was a 360 conversation. It like totally turned around because that person knew that it wasn't just this manager's opinion and what they'd heard. So, preparedness is really important.
Yeah. And to your point about being organised, Michelle, last night when we were talking about this, there are some people who love structure and getting things done and having a list and prioritising the list. And we were talking about, so when we actually become organised, we start to prioritise the things in our work and our life that really are valuable, that either add value or have meaning, that are valuable to us. And I think that is one way of just clarifying how you sort out all the different priorities and things that you have in your life. So the takeaway is be prepared and have physical evidence. So have something tangible for someone and yourself, because there are so many benefits for that. And just notice in your life where you are organised. Like, for example, I heard this quote by DeMartini: money will flow to where it's appreciated and organised. Work will flow where it's appreciated and organised. People will flow to you where it's appreciated and organised. So just notice those two things: being organised and having the tangible.
Very good.
Okay, see ya. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of the People Leaders Podcast. For show notes and other resources, please visit us at peopleleaderspodcast.com. And while you're there, you can subscribe for future episodes so you can continue your own leadership journey. And please be sure to share this and other episodes with your friends and colleagues. The People Leaders Podcast is brought to you by the Experts on Air Podcast Network.